Hello, I'm Alex. Thank you for clicking on this video. I talk about movies, music, video games, TV, whatever I want to talk about on this channel. I am the Devil's Advocate, and this is a video that I've been talking about making for a couple videos now, a couple weeks now. I've been mulling this over. These are games that I like to play before bed. Now, I'm not saying every single game on this list must be played before bed. I'm not saying these are even good games to play before bed, but they are games that I tend to gravitate towards when I'm trying to wind down for the day, or I want to watch a TV show or listen to a podcast or something and just have something a little mindless going on in the background, that I like, just to have something to do with my thumbs, because I am ADD, so I have to be doing something at all times. And I thought I was only going to talk about 5 games, but I realized I had more than 5 games, so it's 10. Here we go, 10 games to play before bedtime. I highly recommend all these games, and let's just get it out of the way and begin with the one that I've been talking about the most in recent weeks, playing the most probably, is Ball X Pit. I love this game. I cannot stop playing this game. At this point, it's probably like more of an addiction than an affection. Ball X Pit is a game by Kenny's son. I think it's one guy put this together, at least initially. And it is essentially like taking Enter the Gungeon and Vampire Survivors and mixing them together into a brick breaker game. And if you don't know what a brick breaker game is, it's like you have a paddle. It's like Pong almost. You have a paddle, you have a ball going up and down, and a wall of bricks, and you're trying to break each brick and keep the ball from going down below your paddle. This is a new spin on that format. It's got roguelike aspects, like Enter the Gungeon or Vampire Survivors, in that over time, after each run or playthrough of a level, you can get permanent upgrades to your characters. You can make them stronger. You can unlock new items and new balls to create new fusions, and that's really the fun of this game, is mixing and matching different balls together to see what kind of fusions and evolutions you can make. Evolution being, instead of just fusing the properties of an ice ball and a laser ball together, you'll mix it together and you'll get the freeze ray. So it's a brand new ball, and then you can mix that with another evolution or another standard ball and just keep going into wild stuff. Of course, play some footage here of the million balls that I got going on the screen. You can make a nuke and then mix that with a ball that splits into several smaller balls, and they all become nukes. You can get some crazy screen clearing builds here in this game. There's great YouTube channels that talk about all the crazy builds that you can make. Shout out Matt Zell. But that's really the one that I've been going to the most of recent days. I can't get enough of it. It is highly addicting. There's a free demo on Steam, so if you're curious, it's free to try. So try it out. Don't come for me if you find yourself addicted. The next game on this list I want to talk about is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I've been a big Dragon Ball fan ever since I was a kid, watching it on Toonami on Cartoon Network after school, running home from school to make sure I caught the episode because I was not about to miss them powering up before they fought. A whole episode of powering up. Back in the day when I had the Wii, a friend lent me his brother's copy of Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3. It's a mouthful, but that game, he lent it to me to unlock some characters for his little brother. I ended up unlocking everything and was like, okay, I'll give this back to you, but I'm immediately going to go out and buy my own copy because I love this game. What I really liked about it is the 3D fighting in it. Like, I didn't know how you could translate the fighting of Dragon Ball into a video game, but this is, I think, the best way that they've done it. Now, I've also seen like Dragon Ball Fighters. I don't dig the 2D kind of like Street Fighter esque mode that game is in. I like this 3D mode, and especially on the Wii with Budokai, you can use the Wiimotes to do the moves. So as a kid growing up watching Dragon Ball, and now as an older person playing it on the Wii and being able to do those moves and actually see your character do a Kamehameha wave with your motion, it's a dream come true. So that game is so fun. And then recently I had found on the Switch 2, or on the Switch, a game called Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which seemed to be in the same mold as Budokai. So I was like, oh, it was a free demo, and I played a little bit of the demo, and then I was like, well, I got to keep playing this game, so I bought it. And that game is cool because you can create your own character. You create your own character. It's kind of an MMORPG, like it's online, and you can play with other players and advance the story and just do fights, but you could also just play on your own, which I do. And what I like about that game, and Sparking Zero, which is also in the mold of Budokai Tenkaichi, is just very quick battles. Quick battles, you pop on, you can play 1, 2, 3, and then go to bed. It's not that complex. If you're playing on higher difficulties and you're actually trying to, like, I don't know, progress and do very well and like get like big rewards, then yes, you gotta like learn really how the controls work. But if you don't care that much about that, you can just kind of button mash a little bit and get into a flow state where you're having fun and you're winning battles. My thing that I do ever since Budokai Tenkaichi and all through Xenoverse and Sparking Zero is to try to collect the Dragon Balls, and you do that by beating tournaments or doing random matches here and there. So that's what I do. I'll pop on Xenoverse or Sparking Zero before bed, and I'll just do a couple tournaments and just do some fighting. You know, playing around with different characters. I love to put on random when it's choosing a character, so I get to play as people I might not normally choose. And yeah, man, it's just a fun fighting game. You get a little aggression out before bedtime. Another game that's good for getting aggression out before bedtime is Tekken 8.
全世界の人類に告げるザ・キング・オブ・アイアンフィストトーナメントの開催を宣言する
Before that, it would be Tekken 7, or, you know, any kind of fighting game, really, like Mortal Kombat. I'm not a big Street Fighter guy, so Mortal Kombat, Injustice, but Tekken has always been my favorite of the fighting games. I think it has the best button layout, each button corresponding to a limb. It's easier for me to understand. It's easier for me to intuitively think about how a combo might work. But then again, you can always look up the list of combos. Tekken 8 is fantastic. I didn't know you could do that much, you know, change up the formula that much from Tekken 7 or just any of the other Tekkens, but they really did with the rage system and being able to have like kind of a last moment like burst of, oh, maybe I can turn the tide of this fight. I think I like the story of Tekken 8. I have all the footage I recorded of playing through the story, and maybe one day I'll cut that up into a YouTube series. But the only thing about Tekken 8, and I was going to make a whole video about this at one point, I even started scripting it, is I don't like how fighting games work nowadays. This includes Sparking Zero. Let me get on my old man soapbox here, but back in my day, a game would come complete, and you could play it, and you can beat levels, and you can beat arcade modes, and unlock characters, unlock stages, unlock different modes. Now everything is DLC. There's no surprise anymore of like, I don't know who I'm gonna unlock. I don't know what character this is. or being surprised, in like Smash Brothers, when you would complete like a mission or two, and then a new challenger appears, and you're like, I don't know who this is. Who could this be? There was mystery. There was excitement behind it. It was part of the game. Now it's part of the marketing. Now here's DLC of the new character who's coming out, and here's their move set, and here's what all their costumes, and you can buy it for $5. And it's very disheartening. I don't like it. I don't think I've bought any characters for Tekken because just out of principle. But regardless, Tekken 8 is a fun game to play, and throwing it on for a couple matches. What I like to do with Tekken is I'll go into the online meeting area where you can see other players walking around. But I won't actually play them live. I'll play their ghosts, because then I can pause the game. Sometimes I'll play them live. Sometimes I'll play against other people and get humbled very quickly and realize I am no good at playing Tekken. But I like to play their ghosts because I like to pause the game. Call me old-fashioned. But that's Tekken 8. And moving into yet another game that you can play to get out some aggression before bed is Yakuza Kiwami. Now, I have only ever really heard about the Yakuza franchise. Never really got into it myself until it was free on PlayStation Plus. So I downloaded it. I download every free game I can get. And I played it for a little bit, and I couldn't really get into it. The prologue was taking a long time. I felt like the world was very small and I don't know, claustrophobic. And I thought, how big can this game get? And I put it down, and they came back to it months and months later. Just kind of like, I don't know, maybe if I keep going, it'll be fun. And then something happened. I started to stop skipping cutscenes. I started to absorb the story of what was happening, and I started to get invested. And I really liked the story of this game. It has a fantastic story. Again, like, I did not care. I just wanted to get to punching people, but I find myself invested in this story now. And it is very fun. You get to walk around the streets of Tokyo. There's a million side missions to do, including like racing RC cars, a trading card game, baseball. But my favorite thing to do before bedtime is play poker. I love playing poker back in the day in Red Dead Redemption, because you could cheat and you could have an extra card, which I always thought was a really cool feature. In The Witcher 3, I would play Gwent a lot, the card game in that.
Wouldn't mind a few rounds of Gwent.
But in Yakuza, I play poker. I like poker. I only like poker in video games, it seems, because I do not like to bet and gamble in real life. Do not use FanDuel. Do not use Polymarket. Those are bad, folks. Those are bad. Stake and Kick. Those are bad, folks. I play a little Yakuza before bed because I'll just play some poker. And one of my while you can't cheat in poker in this game like you can in Red Dead, where it's in the game that you can cheat, in this game, I cheat. I cheat the game by creating save files. So I'll save the game right before I start playing poker, and then I'll play some poker, and if I win like a certain amount, then I'll exit out the game, I'll save it so that that's my new baseline of money, and then I'll continue playing. But if I lose money, then I'll exit out the game, I'll load my previous save so that I didn't lose that money, and then I'll keep playing poker. So I just accumulate more and more money as I'm just, casually playing poker before bedtime, so that by the time I do feel like actually playing the regular game again, I'll have a bunch of money to play with. And again, if you could also take breaks like I do in between games of poker and just walk around the streets of Tokyo and run into gang members to fight and get some beat 'em up entertainment before bed as well. So it's a good mix of like, you can go beat up some guys, go play some poker, back and forth, and then, go to sleep. And speaking of poker, my next game on my list, game number 5, is a sleeper hit from a year or two ago that, again, I just got on PlayStation Plus, Balatro.
Let's say hello to Jimbo. He's just a joker. In any other game, he is left out the deck and has no value. But in Balatro, Jimbo and other jokers upgrade your poker hands, allowing you to create powerful card synergies.
Balatro is a poker roguelike game. So a roguelike game like Ball Pit, where after each run, after each hand that you play, you can get permanent upgrades to kind of help you get further and further into the game. The way, I don't know, the way this game plays, it sounds confusing. It sounded confusing to me when it was explained to me, but once I got my hands on it and just started playing it, I understood what was going on, and it became very addictive. Like Ball Pit, I was very much into Balatro for a couple months there, every night before bed. Basically what happens is you have a hand of cards, more than like 5, right, in a standard poker hand, and your goal is to make poker hands like, you know, a flush or a straight or 2 pair or something like that, and you get points for which kind of hand it is and which modifier cards you get, because you'll get joker cards which modify, like you get extra points if you have 2 pairs, you get extra points if you have a straight flush, or you get extra points if you have more than a couple 10s in there. All kinds of different modifiers. Again, it's hard to explain. Give it a try if you can, if there's a demo. I don't know if there is, but it's just it's a great time, and again, it's very fun. You can play one run, you can play another run. It's one of those addicting things. It's like, I have one more time. Come on, one more time. Like Ball Pit. Oh my God. The one more time factor in Ball Pit is very, very strong, as is Balatro. So highly recommend Balatro. Give it a shot, even though, I know I'm not doing a great job explaining how the game works, but it is hard to explain. But it's simple to understand once you get your hands on it, or watch a tutorial on YouTube. I'm not here to do that. My next game number 6, is really 6, 7, 8, 9, because it's 4 games. It's Tony Hawk. I've been a fan of the Tony Hawk games ever since the first one came out, all the way back in the day. My favorite one of all time is probably Tony Hawk Underground 2, which I have here on my computer. You might see me play it in some of my older album reactions. My newer album reactions, you see me play Ball Pit. But Tony Hawk 1 and 2 got a remake a few years ago, so I have that on PlayStation. And then last year, Tony Hawk 3 and 4 got a remake, so I play that one now. And I'll maybe do a run here or there and actually play the main game, but what I like to do is free skate. Just free skate around, try to chain tricks together. I like creative parks as well, especially now that we have like the internet and you can share your parks. Finding player created parks is one of my favorite things to do, and especially ones that you can modify yourself and go, wow, I really like this person's park that they made, but I wish it had this, or this. Now you can do the remix feature and just jump in, and now it's your park, and now you can add things to it and save it as your own. So I really enjoy Tony Hawk. It's such a great game to just vibe out to with some music, or like I said, like a TV show or a podcast or whatever, and just chill and hang out. And not worry about like getting all the letters in each level or hitting the high scores or whatnot, as is the main game. And again, I have a lot of footage of me playing both of these games, Tony Hawk Remake 1 and 2 and Tony Hawk Remake 3 and 4, which again I might cut into a video one day. But what I realized in getting these games again, finally, after so many years, and even the ROMs I have here on my computer, is that I don't actually like the main game that much. 2-minute rounds where you have to go collect the letters or get high scores or like do specific tricks over specific obstacles never really captured my imagination. It was the underground games that I really, really liked, because those has stories. And while, yes, a lot of the goals were the same kind of goals, it felt like progression. It felt like you were changing the levels by doing some of these goals and advancing the story. And I mean, one of the greatest rivalries of all time, akin to Red versus Blue from Pokemon, is your main character and Eric Sparrow, the annoying dick in Tony Hawk's Underground. So highly, highly recommend Tony Hawk for anyone who's never played Tony Hawk. There's a new game out called Skate Story, which I hear great things about. I want to try that, but nothing like the classics. So Tony Hawk is my number 6 on there. My number 7, wait, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, my number 7, just checking, is Call of Duty. Call of Duty, specifically World War II.
In this hour of great sacrifice, we shall prevail.
Get your head down and keep moving!
This is another one I got for free on PlayStation Plus. Call of Duty, what is there to say about it? It's kind of the standard first-person shooting game. I made a video on my channel talking about Battlefield 6 because I never played the Battlefield series, and I tried it out for the first time, and boy, do I not like it as much as I like Call of Duty. Just the controls feel ingrained in me at this point. Call of Duty World War II specifically I like because you get to fucking murder Nazis, and that's fucking great. Like, just a little bit of Nazi cleansing before bed is good for the soul, especially in the times we live in now. And it has the best multiplayer level, I think, in the series. Maybe even better than Nuketown, which is Shipment, because it's the smallest level, and it's just constant action. There's no wandering around a giant map looking for someone to shoot only to get shot yourself. It is constant firefights, 5-on-5 teams, and just, again, you can play around in about 20-30 minutes and then go to bed. You can play a couple rounds and then go to bed. It's just great to pop on, pop off. And while, some of the newer or at least like the modern era Call of Duty games have like fancier guns and like maybe cooler perks and stuff like that, just the fact that you get to kill Nazis is fucking great in the World War II one. So that's the one I keep going back to. And yeah, man, Call of Duty, it's useful. Do I play the story? Yeah, maybe a little bit sometimes, but that's not really what you're coming to Call of Duty for. You're coming for the multiplayer. And again, I'm not playing like the War Zones, the Fortnite clone version of Call of Duty. I'm playing the old school Xbox Live, yelling at each other through the mics, but I'm muting everybody. And just Shipment, constant firefight. That one takes the cake for me. I don't even like zombies, really. Next game on my list, game number 8. Yes, game number 8 is Rocket League. I had seen this game come out years ago and was like, soccer with cars. I don't even like soccer, and I don't even like cars. Why would I want to play this? But it became free eventually. And, I'll take anything free. And I tried it out myself, and then I understood. I said, oh, okay, I get it. This is actually very fun. So Rocket League, it's literally what I said. It is soccer with cars. You drive around this big field, bouncing a ball around, trying to get into the other team's goal. Rocket League has since had many, many updates. So there's different ways to play. There's like a basketball version. There's a hockey version where the ball is a puck. There's a version where you get weapons, like in like Mario Kart or something. Which, you know, honorary mention to Mario Kart World. That's also a great game to play before bed, especially the open world where you can just kind of drive around and just take in the scenery. It is very lovely. But Rocket League, I've been getting back into it recently because one of my co-hosts on this space, check the description for this space if you want to hear some politics and a lot more creators talking about all sorts of different things like I do. We're thinking about getting a little Rocket League group going. So I've been brushing up on my skills and really just falling back in love with the game and how fun it is. Again, you can play around and it's like 10, 15, 20 minutes for a game and you can keep playing for hours, or you can just do that one game and then go to bed. I love a game where you can make progress no matter how long you play. That's really the sign of one of these kind of games, I think. Is I can play it for 10 minutes and make progress, or I can play it for 10 hours and make progress. Either way, I'm either learning something new, I'm trying something new that I haven't tried before, learning a new skill, or just getting better at the game in general. So Rocket League, highly recommend. You probably don't need my recommendation for Rocket League, but I'll give it anyway. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. For someone who doesn't like soccer and who doesn't like cars, the mix of the two somehow became a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. My next game number 9 on this list, is probably one that y'all been waiting for me to mention. Stardew Valley. This game I also got for free on PlayStation Plus, but games like this, and I've tried to play like the OG Harvest Moon, games like this always make me anxious. I have a crippling anxiety about missing out, like fear of missing out, right? FOMO. But before it was called that, it was just like fear of being late. And these games have an internal timer, right? Days go by because you're farming. It's a farming game. And there's a little town, and you can meet the people, and you can develop relationships, and it's a fun, chill. It's literally a chill game, made to chill. This game, like Animal Crossing, made to chill. But for me in particular, it drives my anxiety crazy. So with Stardew Valley, I'm trying to force myself to play this game to get over some of that fear. And it has been working. It just letting the days go by and going, I don't care if I miss anything, because I can always play it again. I can always watch videos of people getting secret endings or whatever. I can always just let this experience wash over me. Let me experience it. Let me do the thing instead of going, okay, the Easter festival is tomorrow. Let me look up who I need to talk to and what I need to do and when do I need to get this done by before winter or before spring. That's the point of me even putting this game on this list and trying this game out at all, is to try and mitigate that FOMO that is constantly within me and is hard to get rid of. Stardew Valley, very chill game, very lovely pixel art. Definitely harkens back to like Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing, like I said. And yeah, man, it's, from what I hear, it's got like so much more to it than I'm experiencing. But I'm very much in the beginnings of this game. So I look forward to seeing what more the game has to offer me. And to hit the last game on this list, game number 10, Hollow Knight Silksong. I love Hollow Knight. It was one of the first games I got for the Switch when I got myself a Switch in 2018. It was $15. I said, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on this. I love the artwork. I've heard great things about the game. If I don't like it, it was only $15. And boy, that was one of the best $15 I ever spent. So, highly anticipated Silksong coming out. Spent the years putting the clown nose on. Every E3, every Gamescom, every Game Awards, every Summer Games Fest, hoping to hear news about Silksong. And last year, we were finally vindicated, and we got the game. And man, again, a game that you can play for 5 minutes and make progress, or a game that you can play for 5 hours and make progress. I love Silksong. If you get stuck somewhere, there's always somewhere else to go and somewhere else to explore. For the most part, sometimes you just have to like bare your teeth and get through one area. But I've been really enjoying going through. I've taken a break as of late, mostly because of Ball Pit. But I really, really enjoy Silksong. It is one of the, it was my one indie game of the year last year. I voted for Ball Pit because I knew Silksong was going to win, and it deserved to, absolutely. But Ball Pit is a fantastic game as well, of course. I'm addicted to it. Silksong is very addicting as well. I've heard the complaints that it's a little harder than Hollow Knight, and I would say no. They're about the same difficulty. There's a little more like trollishness in it and playfulness, I feel like, from the developers, kind of playing with your expectations of what a game like this would offer you. I think to like examples like, oh, I found a save bench where I can sit down and take a break, but oh no, that save bench is actually a trap that hits you if you sit on it. You got to find the lever to disable the trap first, and then you can sit on the thing. So being very trollish is the name of the game with Silksong and Team Cherry. Apparently, we got an update, a DLC coming out later this year for free. Team Cherry is very good at doing that for Hollow Knight, and they're doing it now for Silksong. It's why they're one of the most celebrated developers by players, because they make their games cheap and available. They put a lot of hard work into their games. They make them fine-tuned and very fucking good. And then for DLC, they'll give it out for free. They want to update their game with new levels and new characters and new weapons and stuff. They give it to you for free because you already paid for the game. As it should be. Ball Pit is doing the same thing. They just came out with the Regal update. I've been playing that. And they got 2 more DLC updates coming out later this year. Also for free, because you bought the game. This is just gravy on top of that. If you want to give us more money, buy the game again on another platform. Tell your friends to buy the game. Tell your friends about our company and how we're a great video game company. Like, that's how you engender faithful fucking fans for your development studio. You do something like Tekken does, Bandai Namco, and you go, well, if you want this character, you gotta pay us $5. Screw you. DLC should be free, or it should just be cosmetic stuff. It shouldn't be characters. It shouldn't be things like pieces of the game that you purposefully left out so that we have to then buy it from you. But yeah, those are my 10 games that I like to play before bed. Let me know down below in the comments what your games are that you like to play before bed. Do any of these games make the list? Do any of these games even make sense to you in the way I described how I like to play that before bed? Because I know, like, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is very high-octane, intense action. How could you possibly play that before bed? Same with Call of Duty or Rocket League. But I don't know, for whatever reason, they calm me down, they kind of chill me out. I feel less pressure. You know, if I'm playing like a mainline, I don't know. Like if I was playing Yakuza and I was playing the actual story mode, I'd feel more anxious because I want to get this mission done before bedtime. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know when I can save here and there. I also don't want to advance the story without, sitting down and preparing to advance the story and like giving myself a few hours to do that. Same thing with like Elden Ring or whatever. But, playing a game mode, like poker and that, for example, or just running around the streets beating up like NPCs or whatever is chill for me and just kind of relaxing. So again, let me know down in the comments what games that you like to play before bed. Do these games make your lists? And I got lots of videos coming out this week. J. Cole's Blizzard mixtape thing before the album drops, maybe one of his first albums, more Kanye stuff because his apologies coming out, maybe Jid because the Grammys are tonight, so he could be a winner, he could be a Grammy winning artist by the end of today, who knows. But anyways, stick around folks, subscribe, follow me on all the places you see here on screen, and take care. Have a lovely Sunday.